This is the Limo Show.
This is not another story. This is not another drill. I refuse to be another number.
We're gonna discuss about obviously he's famous for dating celebrities, dating models all across Canada. He's teaching dating, so I wanna I wanna talk about about some dating stuff. Okay, so
Yeah, for
okay, perfect. So, but first of all, bro, what's like for people that don't know you? What's your story? Like, how did you start all that journey? How does that character LA? How does he like? How did you build your character? How did you build your identity? And how did you build like your basically your persona that you have now and your confidence? And how did it all start? Like, was it always like this?
Okay, so no, I mean, I grew up with my parents, and I was an only child, so I didn't spend a lot of time around kids. And then when I would go to school, I'd want to socialize. I'd want to hang out with the kids and play and have fun and make friends and stuff like that. So there was that motivation. I have siblings from my dad's first marriage, but from this marriage, I'm alone. So I would go to school and I would play, and I had girls, and I was lucky. I guess I had girlfriends. I don't really. I didn't really know what I was doing. Right now, in retrospect, being busy, having hobbies, having passions, being sarcastic and playful, and trying to be funny and have a good time with everyone. Be friends with not just the girls but the guys too. So I guess people enjoyed that. I was okay in sports, so maybe that helped. I was a skateboarder and a snowboarder.
Really?
So yeah, I was really into skateboarding when I was a kid, and there was the girls that liked skateboarding, so they would come watch us and would hang out and that type of stuff. That kind of brought us together. I liked music and the arts. I went to art school.
Okay.
I went to acting school. And that kind of shaped sort of my personality, the sports, the friends, playing around, having fun, having a good time, going to parties, stuff like that. It helped me to, I guess, socialize with people. And then basically my story is I was dating girls, and I dated one girl, and I wanted to make her my girlfriend, and I didn't really know how to go about having that conversation or what to do so she would want to be my girlfriend. I didn't really understand. Like, I had hooked up with her, we had spent some time together, we'd hung out, but I didn't know what to do without messing it up.
Yeah.
So I started looking online, and I came across, websites, and then chat rooms, and then eventually I got to YouTube. And I started seeing this community and these guys doing this stuff, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And they were not just like antisocial, shy guys. They were cool guys, guys with a good style, that go to the gym, that have business. So it's not just that have businesses. It's not just for guys that are, shy, even though it helps them. It's for guys in general. And I really held on to that. And so I started going out a lot. I treated it like a sport. And I would go out every night of the week until 4 a.m, even if I was sick, like if I had a fever.
Night of the week. Wow.
Yeah. Would go out Sunday to Sunday. And I did that for too long. I did that too much. Like in winter, I was going out a lot still. And like it's like -20 and you're outside at 3 o'clock in the morning every night, and you don't see the sunlight because the sun goes down at 5 and you wake up at 4, because you go to bed at 6 a.m. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
was it in Brazil, or you're talking about Montreal now? Where you going? Okay.
I came here when I was 3.
Oh, okay.
And I've noticed a lot of differences with the culture and people, how they interact, and this is like the social. The culture changes things a little bit. I don't know if you
Yeah.
find it's the same thing in Paris, maybe.
Pretty international city, so I guess you can find many different cultural like ideas and backgrounds in the same spot. Like there's so many, like there is people are pretty open in Paris, honestly.
Okay.
Of course, here, like girl wise, I feel like there's a lot of tourists and tourists that come to Paris. It's a city of romance. It's a city where
Right.
lot of girls like were kind of dreaming about it when they were younger, and they come here and they want to have fun, and so yeah,
Okay, cool.
there's not a big shift.
Where I'm from is a small town, so it's a little bit different. Like you can't really do cold approach because it's dangerous. Like if I go up to a girl on the street and I start talking to her, she could fear for her life. Like she might think she's getting mugged or kidnapped or something, right? Because
Yeah,
it can be a little bit dangerous. So you don't just like, oh, I have nothing to do, I'm gonna go walk around downtown. Like you go to malls because there's security and because it's different. But cold approach is not like just meeting strangers on the street. You can meet them in bars and clubs for sure. But day game cold approach, like I wouldn't feel comfortable just walking up to a girl in a mall because she's probably with her family. There, it's just culturally it doesn't. But if you have a good social game, you can do really well. Like if you have a good network of people, you're
yeah,
fun to be around. You're a cool person. You make friends and you build your network. You can meet tons of people, man. Tons of
yeah,
people, and it's like everybody is in shape. Everybody, well, most people go to the gym and they're in shape. They're on the beach, so it's a whole like it's different for me, even though I'm from there. But when I go, I feel a bit like a tourist, and it's just I notice these little nuances of like, okay, I have dated a lot of great people here, lots of hot girls. I've had a lot of fun, and I'm glad to be doing this here. I mean, that's basically what shaped me as a guy, like the arts. Um, how I studied acting, and I got coached as an actor. So I use a lot of that in my coaching with guys, like when I'm one on one
yeah.
with them.
Uh-huh.
How to use your voice, how to use your body to communicate, how to ground yourself, how to connect with people. I found that really helped to transition into this stuff. And like, I used to go out a lot when I was a kid, when I was younger, like 18, and like I was living on the West Coast, and I was going out and going to school and having a good time and dating all these people. And you know, one thing I'll get right into it. One thing I respect about what you do is it's a very holistic approach. It's not like lie to people, manipulate people, exaggerate. It's about being authentic, right?
Yeah,
And I think it's a goal orientated approach because you're building on your confidence, you're building on your communication, you're building on your interpersonal networking skills. Like you're growing, you're evolving. And so when all this stuff, going out every night, reading, watching videos, started to kind of settle in me, it shaped the way I do things. It shapes how I want to do things. Because I didn't come up with this stuff on my own. A lot of
yeah,
people put a lot of time into researching this stuff.
yeah. Obviously, like the top people that I see doing this are have mentors, have people that taught them this. So yeah, and what so it's a very long journey. Like honestly, like I'm pretty impressed. Like you've been through a lot, and you've been through obviously different cultural backgrounds. So that's really cool. I was wondering, like, what have been the mindsets that helped you the most to get like initial success with women? What were the mindsets that you could give to some guys that are starting?
Go seek experience. Go step outside your comfort zone slowly. There's no rush. It's not a competition. It's not about ego. It's not necessarily even going to make you happy. But go out. Don't take yourself so seriously. don't take what you're doing so seriously. It's not life or death. You probably have a lot of skills now that you can transfer. If people are academic, if people are career orientated, if people like to travel, they like to try different food, fashion, music, like all these things, your passions, your hobbies, those are all valuable. That shapes who you are. Those are your interests. Those basically encompass your personality and your character. So don't take yourself too serious and don't think that it's life or death. You can go talk to people and express that you think they're interesting. You wanted to get to know them maybe over a cup of coffee or something sometime. It's okay. I think it's very okay to do that. If you look at it like I look at it as a passion and something that I like to help people, I want to coach people to help them as well. Talking to people and figuring out their sticking points, figuring out their difficulties, highlighting their assets. And yeah, you come up with your own theories eventually. When you start to do this enough, you start to see what works for you and why. And it's not something you read in a book, but it helps to have both the inner game, and then obviously you have to go out and practice. So, you can learn from cool guys that are natural or whatever. And you can learn from guys that didn't focus on socializing, didn't understand how it worked right away. And those guys came up with certain theories. And then they became natural because those theories influenced their personality.
True.
So you can go from, that's it. Just don't take yourself too serious. Don't take this too seriously. If you get a rejection, it's really not the end of the world. If you break up with your girlfriend, maybe you guys shared something cool together while you were together. Now it's time to continue to grow on your own. If you're already getting dates and you just want a couple tips, it's a great community. I think we do good work. There's a couple guys I've seen around. I've seen teaching. You, Max, Chris is getting into it.
Yeah, he's getting into it with us. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's great, man. There's so much. Like I see a lot of guys, and teaching isn't for everyone. Sometimes you want to learn what works for me, and that's it. I don't need to know about your problems. You know what I mean? I don't need to figure you out. I need to figure me out, and that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can move on. But us, it's like I obsess about.
Yeah, you want to know everyone's situation and everyone how it differs. Yeah.
But yeah, so don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take what you're doing too seriously, and try to have fun. Try to have fun as much as you can. And if you make any move, whether it's opening a video, reading something online, going outside and talking to someone, going to a bar and trying to approach, just going to a club and observing and not even approaching. If you do anything, that's a step in the right direction. And you never know where that's going to take you. Because in 6 months, you could be, in a happy relationship with a great girl you met at a bar. So have fun, man.
Yeah, one little step, like that 1%, one little step. If you do 1% better every day, if you do one approach every day, it compounds. Like it's 1 square 365. It's like it's crazy. So like as Lou said, like those little actions they compound, and it's like compound interest. It's like investing. Look at Warren Buffett's wealth. Like it was small, and then within a few years it skyrocketed like exponentially, and that's how knowledge and that's how mastery compounds. And it's the same with dating. Like don't rely on as he said, like approaching a girl or one rejection, it's only one data point. Well, what does one data point mean in science? It means nothing. It's just a feedback.
Ultimately, this is maybe some more advanced stuff, but if your confidence is contingent on one rejection or even 2 rejections or even 10 rejections and you give up, how much do you really want it?
Yeah.
You can't lose sight of yourself because another individual doesn't approve of you. You can't lose your center because they're not rejecting you. they're rejecting what you're doing right then. In a year, you could approach the same person more confident, more relaxed, more simple, more easygoing, more specific, and it could work. So
some girls are even rejecting themselves. You could do the perfect thing at the same venue. I could be doing the same thing to two different girls, and one girl, I would have an amazing experience with one girl, and the other girl would slap me in the face. Like, it would be the same thing, the exact same thing. But the way she interprets it, and the way she, like, I don't know, in her memory or in her beliefs or even in her mood at the moment, like, it's just,
people have things going on, and I think when you start, you overestimate how much influence you have on other people, and I think you overestimate the effect you're having on other people. They have things going on. It could have nothing to do with you. It could have something to do with her day. It could have her boss. Maybe she's in a relationship. Maybe the guy she has a crush on, was just an asshole. Maybe she's just tired. Maybe she's not in the mood to talk to people. The thing that I like is in our little community that we have, it's really like guys that want it. And I haven't seen anybody give up yet. Everyone I know still does it. They still go out. We take breaks when we get fed up or we're tired or we're trying to assimilate some information that we just need to like think about and like let it settle.
Yeah. There's periods of contractions, expansion. You need that. Yeah.
Exactly. And the people that we have around us, I've seen, it's a pleasure to work with because guys want to freaking learn. They want to do well, like I do. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to, it's like the red pill, blue pill thing. I know you're big on that. Once you take that pill, it's like you can't pretend everything is okay. It's like, when you're not trying, when you're not, you're letting your insecurity or your stress take control. When you're, when you're reacting to fear or when you're being lazy or whatever. So once you take that red pill, it's like, you gotta keep going,
Yeah. Picking up girl and dating, etc. It's very, it's like a habit, kind of. Like, it's a habit that you take within your identity. Because a lot of guys, they don't have that in their identity. What the core of their belief is, I don't know, from their childhood, from their memory, or from their environment, from their social conditioning. They think at the core of their identity that they're not that type of guy. In order for that shift to be definitive, you need to change your identity first, like your beliefs. And the more you get evidence about something, the more the belief becomes stronger. So the more you get evidence, the more you go out and you get evidence that you're the type of guy that does this. Like, the more you go out, like even one approach at the bus station or one approach at the at the grocery store, the more you do that, the more you cultivate some evidence that you're actually that type of guy that goes talk to women. And it's a big, and it's a big breakthrough for people, because I have a lot of my friends. For them, you can't really open a girl, cold approach a girl during daytime. Like, it's not part of their identity. For them, it's only like they can only approach a girl if they have their bottle service at the nightclub. Only at that moment they can approach, or only, I don't know, when there is like some situation that could. It's not a habit for them. So I feel like also that plays a role too.
Yeah, and again, like, this stuff used to be a bit awkward when it came out. Now, approaching girls on campus, on the street, at the bus stop, at the grocery store, at the gym, wherever. Yeah, just like being social from the moment you wake up and you like focus on your day. And okay, this used to be my theory. I'm always ready. Like, I'm going to get myself into a good mood and like feel good. Having conversation with someone is not a big deal. So if I just leave the house, the way I behave during the day versus the club is pretty much the same. Like, guys think, okay, I'm going to go to the club, I'm going to get drunk, and then they go crazy because they've been resisting, or they've been repressing all of that during the week, let's say,
So
but
true,
then if you know what I mean? But if you go little by little, you can start to socialize with cool people, and it's not such a big deal to be in a club, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's a momentum. You don't expect to be that social king at the nightclub if 80% of the time during the week you're like this guy that's with his headphones and doesn't talk to anybody. Don't expect to, like, it's a momentum to take, it's a habit to take, it's a daily it's like lifting weights, you know. Don't expect to like take a huge weight if every day you don't lift weight regularly, you know. That's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I wanted to ask you something. Actually. I wanted to ask you, how does finding your purpose influence the relationships you have? For example, guys are putting a lot of emphasis on, okay, I want to get dates. I mean, I have students that are very successful academically, they're very successful career-wise, and so I think they're on their purpose already. They're just trying to, get better with social. But for example, in your case, how does being on your purpose influence your standards, influence your opinions, influence your boundaries, and influence ultimately your relationships? Because I find now I don't go out with the mentality of I'm going to approach girls. I go out because I have things I have to do.
Yeah.
And if I see somebody that I'm interested in, I'll go introduce myself and say hi, right? But I don't leave to do like a 2-hour session of like, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You get a bunch of numbers, you get a bunch of dates, you get social, you get that momentum. But how does you now, being on your purpose, fit into relationships?
First of all, I believe like we don't have only, you know, one purpose. I'm going to have multiple purposes. And obviously your core purpose, it's very hard to define it. But what I've found is that, you know, the more you're on your path, the more you're on your purpose, the more you value your time. You value your time because, you know, time is limited. You know, you have a purpose to accomplish. And in order to accomplish your purpose, you can't just roll with everybody. You can't just spend your time with everybody. And the bigger your purpose, the biggest your standards. I mean, when I meet a girl now, I'm screening her hard. I'm like seeing, like, of course, if it's a one night stand, I'm gonna be more. I'm gonna be less of. There's gonna be less of a screening thing. But if I'm gonna see her on a regular basis, let's say once a week or twice maximum, because after twice, like if you see a girl 3-4 times a week, it becomes your girlfriend. I mean, like it's bad. But if I see a girl regularly, I mean, I need her to have those kind of standards, so I can be myself and not be affected by her thoughts or her poor habits. Like I need to have someone that shares the same kind of thoughts. So being on your purpose, it brings abundance. It brings a lot of abundance because you realize that you have something that is stronger to fulfill your needs with women. You have something that is stronger than that. Like you know, it's girls. What differentiates a man for a girl is his opinions, his values, and the way he behaves. It's not really the visual cues or the status. Like it can help the status, the money, etc. So when you're on your purpose, she's gonna see that you're an ambitious guy. She's gonna see that you're not that guy that's a leaf in the wind. You know, just chasing good emotions, chasing pleasure, or chasing a good reaction from her. She's gonna see that you're kind of a rock. Okay, she's gonna see that whatever wave of emotions is gonna throw at you, you're gonna be like a rock on your purpose. And yeah, she finds that attractive. I mean, that's what helped me a lot with women. Like she sees that I'm doing videos, that I'm doing that I'm doing self-help, that I'm reading, that I'm working out. So she's telling herself like, yo, this guy is on his path. This guy is cool. And it translates on my subcommunications. It translates on my tone of voice, on how I even interact by text, or even the scarcity that I have while talking. Like, you know,
It's funny because I always tell guys, they're like, well, so what do I say to this girl? And I'm like, look, man, get yourself into a good, strong, like grounded, mood where you're smooth and you're improvising a little bit and you're just spontaneous and a little bit unpredictable and like just having a good time and being cool and social. Get yourself in a good mood and then text her. And then you're going to be in a whole, like, I like to text girls at the gym.
After the gym or at the gym it's one of the best times too. Yeah.
When I'm working out and like I'm lifting weights and then I come home or like I have my phone on me, I'm listening to music and I'll just like start texting back and forth on Tinder or girls that I'm talking to or friends or whatever. And I've found that getting myself into that mood, getting that serotonin, that dopamine, that testosterone, getting pumped up and like feeling good, like then you don't have to go to the gym to do that. You can just listen to a song that you like, getting yourself in a good mood, feeling self-sufficient, non-reactive, grounded, passing your little shit test if she's gonna give you some sassy comments to like
Yeah.
see what you're about, right? She's trying to test you a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. You get yourself in a good mood before, and then you start texting, or get yourself in a good mood before you go out on a date. Do some working out, do some push-ups at home, listen to a video you like. It's that momentum. It's feeding the side of yourself. It's like me. Like I have two sides. I think most people have like that angel and that devil. The devil's like, no, you're not good enough. No, you're insecure. No, she doesn't like you. No, she has options. No, it's never going to work. And then the other one is like, well, why aren't you enough? Why wouldn't it work?
Yeah.
Why do you have doubts? And it's which one you feed the most. I think that makes a difference. A lot of guys get into like negativity and like darkness and pain body stuff and trauma. Take some action and push yourself a little bit. You can be very pleasantly surprised. Maybe not right away, but do it for a couple of days, do it for a couple of weeks, and you might find something that works for you.
Yeah. True. What I call what you said, like the devil and the angel, I call that the ego, the identification with thoughts and form, and the higher self, which is identified with who you are at the core. Like you're not your thoughts, you're not what you think you are. You're even not a vegan or a meat eater. You're not rich or poor. You're like an essence. You're a spirit. You're something greater than that. You're something that
I understand.
and so that's what we that's what I call the ego and the higher self. But that's the same thing,
I've gotten a panic attack before. Remember I told you I was going clubbing? Like I was in the club and I was like, I started to like, thoughts were racing. I was like, my heart was beating.
Yeah.
I went out for like, I think I had been going out at that point for 3 months. I went out for like 2 months, a month and a half every day almost. On the third week, I was panicking. I was scared. I was getting a panic attack. I was uncomfortable. I'm in this place. There's all these people. It's dark. There's all these lights. The music is loud. Back then, I wasn't drinking, so I wasn't just like in the environment. I was there for my approaches and to hang out and socialize with people. And man, I went outside and I was like, God damn, like this pain body, right? That's what you were talking about. I was just like, oh, like it's. But then I grabbed a bottle of water. I went back inside and everything was okay.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm kind of glad you said that, because me too, I have that sometimes. Like I go out sometimes a lot and I have that, like my heart starts pumping, or even at my place, like I'm in my bed and before sleeping, like I'm thinking about my heart and I'm like, it's racing and I'm like, shit, will it stop? Maybe maybe I could die or something. And like it's like those thoughts, sometimes I had that even when back when I smoked weed before. I had that a lot. Like I had this feedback loops. Like my heart started racing.
You used to smoke weed?
Yeah, I used to smoke weed before. Mostly CBD when I was in Montreal. Like I would feel bad about it, and I would like get in this feedback loop of negative thoughts sometimes. Like I don't know, man. Like that's why I stopped doing it, because I had a panic attack too one day, and it was so bad. And
I just quit again. I started smoking when I was on vacation, and then I did it for a little while. It was fun. I liked it, and it's, as you know, it's legal here in Canada,
Yeah.
So I don't have issues with weed or anything like that. People smoking it, not smoking it, if it's therapeutic, if it's medicinal. But I know there are a lot of people that have had panic attacks. I know that a lot of people have had anxiety. I know a lot of people have gotten a little bit depressed. I know there's been stress around. It's that holistic approach that I was talking about. Like I had some friends come up to me and they were like, listen, you're a dating coach, you're out to party, but you're not out to party. You're out to teach, right? And we're not partying. When we're there, we're doing our thing, right? So I was, smoking, whatever. And I was like, okay, so this isn't really working anymore. I don't really enjoy it. So I stopped, and it's been a few days now. It's that thing about like what you talked about, right? It's like, it's accountability. You
Yeah.
know, it's your wings who are going to push you to go approach, your coach who's going to ask you, did you talk to someone today? Did you approach girls this week? Are you trying to make, uh, you know, some growth? Um, so yeah, it's about accountability. So when people were like, I think it's not a big deal if you like to smoke, and when we go to clubs you like to drink and stuff like that a little bit, have a couple beers. I always say to my clients, don't get drunk, because you're not going to learn anything really. You know what I mean? You're not a bystander, you're not a spectator, you're not a civilian anymore. Now you're here and you know what's going on, and you know what you can do, and you know what you want to do, and you know what you want to work on. So don't sit here, and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But when you're there to work and be productive, and learn to express your authentic self in a way that people are responding and it's calibrated. And obviously you want to have fun, right?
Yeah, biggest thing is fun. And I like what you said about accountability, because at the end of the day, you can know what to do, you can know how to do it. You can watch like thousands of videos about game dating, about pickup. You can be an expert, but at the end of the day, if you're not, if nobody holds you accountable, or if you're not accountable to yourself, you're never gonna do it. You're never gonna make it happen. So I feel like also it's very important to get a mentor in the beginning. Like I would have paid like people to actually go out with me and teach me that at a high level, and I could have cut my learning curve so much working with another expert. And putting money into it honestly helped me a lot, because once I started paying for programs, once I started paying for boot camps, that's where I made the most growth, because I paid. And money and people, it's those two things. That's what's bring accountability. Like I remember the first few times when I approached with some friends of mine, I would give him $20, and if I didn't approach 10 girls, he would I would give him the $20. Like I would give it, So money and people is the biggest thing for accountability. Like if right now you're not going to the gym, give your friend $500 and tell him, like, if I don't go to the gym 4 times a week and I send you a picture, you win the $500 and you'll go to the gym. So that, I mean, accountability is a great thing. And I feel like your students too. Don't you think that the students that paid are more serious, are taking more action?
I agree with you, man. I would have taken some help too if I knew more about it when I started. I did get help after I got, but I got it from a different angle. I met coaches and we hung out, and I heard what they had to say, and they would say stuff back to me, and we would kind of find that common ground, and I would learn that way.
Who's your biggest mentor?
There have been guys. I like different things about different people that are in this industry. Like I said, I was lucky enough to meet a lot of people in person, and I met them as friends, not as people who were actually working in the industry. You understand? Okay. And then after, I got to know them on a personal, right? Because if you treat someone like you're a fan, it kind of changes the relationship.
Yeah.
And then that's it. But if you just open random people, and I've opened celebrities before that I didn't even know were famous, and my friends pointed out, and if you have that familiarity, it changes things. So I don't know, I feel like different guys have different attributes that I really like, but I don't necessarily agree with everything they do or teach. But I've been a fan of different coaches. I mean, there's so many independent coaches coming up now. For me, the buyer-seller dynamic is huge. Like a lot of guys don't feel like they have a lot going on, so they don't feel like they're a prize. They don't feel like
you are the prize. That's that's the thing that you should have.
You should definitely feel like you're an asset. You should definitely feel like you're an asset. And so for that to work, it takes confidence building, it takes communication building, it takes takes some work, but it's not impossible. What I do consistently is I just try to work on myself, and I don't apologize. I'm authentic with how I am. That's why my Instagram is the way it is. I try not to think about things too much or analyze things too much into paralysis. But obviously, having a healthy, critical perspective is good. It's a good thing. So I would say consistency is really important.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to communicate that you are high value without trying hard. I talk about the fundamentals. Fundamentals are groundedness, leadership, dominance, passing shit tests, right? If the girl is giving you shit or whatever, it doesn't really affect you. You just think it's funny and you move on, and she sees that you're not going to react and that, maybe she should talk to you like a normal person.
Yeah.
Not like someone who's approaching a hot girl in a club because she is, the ultimate in that environment. And she's great, but so are you. And it's important for guys to feel that way, that you're comfortable with yourself, right? But you have to be okay with your imperfections. So confidence building, going out, socializing, communicating efficiently. Sometimes people do public speaking. Sometimes people do reading stories to kids, to elderly people, just to get yourself, or whatever, just to, articulating something in front of the mirror for 15 minutes every night and talking, reading on the internet so that you know what's going on in the world, and you have, interesting topics of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I go online. Yeah.
You keep learning about dating? Like, do you keep reading books about that or watching videos?
I do. I do. Not as much because, like I said, after a while you start coming up with your own stuff, and I like to come up with my own stuff. This whole thing about the fundamentals and applying, character building techniques so that you feel more confident, you have better self-esteem. You're matching a little bit of inner game, so the plan, how to react, what's going on, the theories, the strategies, but also actually going out and practicing. Yeah. Brother, how many guys I know who sit in front of the computer watching videos and they don't go out?
So many. Yeah, I think 80% of success is showing up in dating.
Of course, yeah. It's like
showing up.
It's like the gym.
Yeah.
Don't take this too seriously. A club is not a place to conduct surgery. It's a place to let go and have fun and be in the moment and enjoy the music and enjoy the drinks and enjoy the people. And
yeah,
I just feel like get yourself out. Read some and then get yourself out of the house. True.
What is the most fascinating thing, in your opinion, about women's psychology?
I find women to be fascinating. They have so much going on.
Yeah.
At the same time, but they're able to get shit done. Like, I think if I was a woman, I wouldn't be able to do anything. You know what I mean? Not that I wouldn't be able to do anything, but I mean, like, if I had my period, I would stay at home for a week. I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, I just find that fascinating that you can be like calibrating and managing and dealing with situations and emotions and people and logic and all these things. I have a hard time multitasking. That's why I like to play guitar a lot. It forces me. I play guitar and I sing, so it forces me to do more. But yeah, I'd say that. Also, what I like is like the mothering, the like maternal instinct.
Yeah.
Like girls that are like very gentle, very nice. They want to take care of you. They want to like help you. You know what I mean? I find women are very intelligent.
Yeah, they're very nurturing. Yeah, they can be very nurturing and intelligent.
They're very intelligent creatures, and when they see something in a guy they like, my experience is they're able to commit to that and grow with them. I've been dating a girl. I've been dating a couple girls for the past couple weeks, just going on dates with them and hanging out and stuff like that and friends. And it feels really nice to be around that energy.
if you don't masturbate or something, like you need to get that energy out. You need to be around that. Like, what do you think about no fap, by the way?
What do I think about no fap? I mean, look, it can be an issue for some people. I'm not gonna say it's not.
Yeah.
It can definitely be an issue for some people. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some people should not be watching anything like that on the internet because it triggers certain things, or maybe it gets them in a certain mood, or maybe they're guys that don't have a lot of experience are learning from that, and it's not. I don't think it's the best approach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where they have unrealistic expectations also,
Mm-hmm.
which it's a performance. It's not necessarily reality.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it. I don't care. I know some people think it helps them with their results. It helps them with their performance. It helps them to do better. I don't. It hasn't been an issue for me personally. I don't care. I don't really watch porn, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the real thing. But I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting question. It's a loaded question. I mean, look, like anything in this industry, you have to field test it. Well, not anything, but most things you have to field test it. You have to be like, okay, I'm not going to do it for 3 weeks and see if it actually helps. And if it helps that individual, fantastic. If it makes you more present when you're talking to people because you're not going off and thinking about this weird shit you saw on your computer, then good. But not everybody has that issue. I mean, people talk about it like it's the holy grail of game. It's not. That and self-amusement. It's like if you're super self-amused, you won't necessarily pick anyone up. But if you're like teasing and a little bit sarcastic and playful, and you're a little bit self-amused and you're having a good time, but not at the expense of others, then yeah, it can be a collective experience. But self-amusement alone and no fapping alone is not going to get you a date. You still have to do.
Yeah, I like what you said, like about testing things. Like, yeah, if you're a guy right now and you have you feel bad about doing it a lot, like test it. Like for a week, don't do it, or for 2 weeks, and see what's different compared to if you're doing it, like, I don't know, multiple times a week.
Of
So
course, yeah.
I like what you said. It's true. Personally, like, I don't do it anymore because I kind of feel bad about it. Like if I do it, like if I do it more than once a week, I feel really bad about it. Like for me, it's a waste of time. I could be
Mm-hmm.
with a girl instead, or doing more productive shit. And I was thinking, because we were talking about mothering, nurturing, things like that, and I was thinking, what are your thoughts about marriage, having kids? I know there's a lot of MGTOW people sometimes listening, or people that are like, yeah, men go their own way, no marriage, no kids, vasectomy. So what do you think?
Um, I think, I've gone through phases. When I was a kid, I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, that's how I was taught. I
Mm-hmm.
was taught, you have girlfriends. And I think my education had a lot to do with getting girls. But then I was also kind of rebellious. So I would do really like polarizing shit. But then I learned to tone that down and use it when it's appropriate. But the question was, what do I think about marriage?
Kids.
And kids. I'm still interested, but not now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 32. Usually, I would have thought by now I would have settled down or started having kids. It just seemed like the idea, but I also didn't take into consideration that I'd get into this community and that I would enjoy it. So I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little parenthesis. I don't know for you what it's like. I don't feel like every guy that's in this would be completely lost in relationships if they hadn't found this community, but you find like a higher purpose. I think it's normal to have some hesitation about stuff like that, especially when you're dealing with guys in this community. But no, I think I'll still have a family. I'll still have a wife and kids maybe one day, just not
Yeah.
now. And I'll be an older father. It's okay.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Honestly, me too. I'm still thinking about this shit. Of course, it's gonna is gonna change during my life. But my point of view is, marriage is like it's a kind of I don't like the aspect of a contract between me and God and the government and all that. I mean,
Yeah.
if I love a girl, I would love to be with her long term without being married, and maybe have kids without being married. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it will shift. I honestly, I wasn't like that too, but I've read so many things and I've seen so many marriages fall off. I've
Of
heard so
course.
many stories
Of
that
course.
influenced me. So I don't know.
Things are changing. Things are changing, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I have a lot of friends my age that are getting married or have been divorced. A lot of them got married young because they thought that's what you're supposed to do, and they felt like it was the right thing to do at that time because they had found someone that they were the environment with, like they were sharing that kind of mentality with, they were building a relationship with, and eventually it led to that. So I don't know, like, man, at this rate, you'd think I would have some kids already, because I've been around the block a bit, but no, I don't know. I think you go through your phase of going out and hooking up, and then for some people that aren't in self-development, they're like, oh, I'm not happy, I'm going to stop. But it's more complicated than that. Like, where are you at? How do you feel? What are you doing? What's your frame of mind when you're in these situations? What are you doing when you're there? How are you interacting with people? How are you interacting with people outside of the clubs? How are you interacting with people in your day-to-day life? The whole thing changes. It's not like we're slow down. It's like some people don't want kids. Some people don't want to sign a paper, but they'll stay with the same girl forever. Some people want a bisexual girlfriend,
That's kind
so
of
they don't have to.
the dream of most people, like that are into this, like having a bisexual girlfriend and going out in the club with her and getting
Yeah,
girls with
yeah.
her. That's kind of the idea
I've
that I see.
I've done that, and
Yeah.
I went through a phase where girls were getting close to me. I was getting close to them, and I was like, the only way we're gonna date is if you accept to be under those circumstances.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's like you do it, and then you're like, okay, do I want to be with one person forever?
Hmm.
I don't know how to answer that question, but yeah, I don't have a baby mama, so
Yeah.
it's not like I have any divorced or whatever. But I
That's
mean,
interesting.
to each their own. You learn a lot from this stuff, and then maybe you come back full circle.
Yeah. 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 Like needs to go out. Like how many times a guy needs to go out to actually get success in that area if he's a beginner?
Okay, so that's a good question. It takes a long time, but here's the kicker. So when you start, if you do this and you try and you learn and you practice and you talk to people and you get information, you're gonna see some big changes
Yeah.
pretty quickly. Pretty quickly, you're gonna see it right away. Eloquence, clarity, whatever you're working on, expressing yourself, being authentic, all that stuff, passing shit tests, whatever. So you're working on this stuff and you're doing it, and you're going to see results. You're going to see it right away. You're going to be like, God damn, if I just look this girl in the eyes and don't hesitate and talk and keep it simple, look what happens. She loves it. She sees me as a confident guy, even though, I'm not 100%. I feel better than I did yesterday. And the results will come, and you'll see shit happening pretty much right away. In the first 6 months, you're going to see a lot of difference. At least that's my experience when I'm coaching. I see guys really learn fast and change. But when you get good, it's more like a series of plateaus, and then one little realization, tweak your game a little bit, and then more of the same shit you've been doing. It's like, this is just the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh shit, I just thought of something. It's like, I just thought of something I hadn't thought of before. Oh, cool. Okay. So this is what's going on. And then you do it again for another like 3 weeks without any changes. And then you realize something else. But
Yeah.
when
It's
you start,
Yeah, well, what I found is always like you set a hypothesis and then you get a feedback and then you kind of get you alterate and you do a synthesis of the thing. It's like inside,
okay.
like you set a
Yeah.
hypothesis. Maybe I should speak a little like a higher pitch, lower pitch, or maybe a lower pitch more. But maybe I should like you said a hypothesis. Maybe I should do this more, or I do this more, and then you test it in the field, and you get you get then feedback, and you alter it, and then you get the synthesis of how things should be done. You know, that's what I've seen. I don't know if you think about it that way, but it's kind of a feedback. The girl is a mirror.
Yeah.
It mirrors what you.
Yeah. The world is a mirror.
Yeah.
The world is a mirror, brother. You can't blame her reaction. It's your responsibility, right? So when you adapt and you change it up a little bit, you see something else happen. But I mean, look, again, if this motivates people to try, I'm telling you, in the first 6 months, that's going to be like, whoa. If you're doing this right, you're getting help, you're talking to people, you're going out, it's going to be like, whoa. These minor adjustments, these little things, these different little theories, these strategies are really making a big difference for me for the first 6 months. And then it's like when looking at someone in the eyes when you're talking to them isn't a big deal anymore, then yeah, you're not going to be like, oh my God, I'm learning so much. But you learn other things.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, no, it's true. Like, I think it's like to get really good, you need to go out like on average 2-3 times a week for about a year. And if you take the proper action with the proper guidance, like the best thing I would do if I was starting out is get a program or get guidance, get a boot camp with LA if you're in Montreal, or with people in Higher Self Circle Max or whatever. Like get someone, even online mentoring. Even reach out to me or to an expert or any expert, and get the fundamentals down, get the people to teach you the basic dynamics, and then go out, take massive action. And by actually investing in yourself, as we told earlier, you're actually getting accountability, because who like even if you have the right fundamentals, the right ways of thinking, who's going to say you're not going to revert back and bitch out in front of the girl? But if you go out with us, if you go out with a guy like LA or like me in the club, we're gonna get you accountable. Like bitching out isn't even a thought or an option. Like it's
no, we'll guide you through the experience and socialize with people. I'm pretty accustomed to it at this point. When you're doing this often, it's really subtle. You get good. You don't realize it, but the little things make a big difference. When you stop, you start losing those little things. And when you lose a bunch of those little things for a couple weeks, a couple months, because you haven't done it, you start to feel a difference. That's when you get nervous approaching a girl because you haven't done it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so
it's not to say you can't do it. It's not to say you can't do it. It's just right now you haven't been doing it, so it's like breaking the ice again. It's like going to the gym again.
Yeah, exactly.
After a while,
it's really a habit. It's a habit. You do it regularly, you get good at it. You stop for a bit, you get a little lousier. You get a little like it's like lifting weights. Honestly, the best analogy for that is lifting weights. Like the more you do it, the more you get better. The more it reinforces.
And if you get in great shape and then you stop for a month and go back, you're going to see a difference. But here's the kicker, and this is the fun part. While you're stopped, you're giving your body a rest, and it's all going into your subconscious. So you're not thinking about it, but it's still there. Right? It's still present in your life.
Yes.
When you start back again, okay, after a break, you are, even if you do it for like a week or two, you're going to get it back really fast. And chances are you might be even better at it than
true. Yeah, you can have some breakdowns if you do it too much and you don't allocate the time to digest what you've learned. You need some time to digest the information. Some contraction times when
expansion, what you were talking about before.
One last question for you, and then we can wrap up. What's one criteria that you would say is essential to have in a quality woman, apart from her beauty? Like, what's the biggest one you have in mind right now?
For what do you mean?
If you wanna, if right now you wanna put yourself in a relationship with a girl,
a criteria that I see in her.
What's one criteria that you would say is essential to have in a quality?
What's a criteria that I like in a woman?
Yes.
Yeah, I like a nurturing kind of feminine. I like feminine girls, but not like, it doesn't have to be feminine, like girly girls. I like girls that do sports also, and you know, work out and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's a feminine quality.
Could be, yeah. There is a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think so.
girls that work out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, taking care of yourself, being proactive. Some of the stuff that we, it sounds narcissistic, but some of the stuff that we do, you know, interests and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
Being,
commonalities.
yeah, like, you know, I don't know, just feminine, loyal, cool, easygoing, likes to have a good time, not too complicated. Um,
Yeah, so really
I don't
feminine,
know.
all
Those
of
are
that.
negatives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I see what you
that's
mean.
a negative. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like that's, and I like artistic people. I do get along with artistic people.
Yeah,
I
because you
like
are
people that
too. You are too with your tattoos and your state of mind, and even what you do. It's artistic. I mean, dating and game and like
I
go.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. So yeah, I think that I like very feminine, but not like dependent. I just like, this is hard. I don't know. I know when I see it. Put it that
yeah,
way.
yeah. I see. I see. Okay, interesting. Interesting. So for the girls that are listening that are in Montreal, hit him up, DM him. And, if you're feminine, if you're
I'm,
artistic.
da- right now. I'm not on the market,
Ah, you're not on the market. Ah, too bad, girls. Yeah,
so
too bad.
I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but okay. I want to give you a solid answer. What do I like? I like strengths. I like strengths. I like character. I like loyalty, integrity, honesty, decency, hardworkingness, drive. I like, you know, someone who is genuine. I like someone who doesn't necessarily take themselves too seriously. Um, yeah,
yeah. That's a big list. Yeah, it's a
someone who wants to explore.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, stuff like that. Explore, like try different things, go out and do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you interested? Are you still interested in a girl that's bisexual, or would you like a girl that's straight?
One of the girls I'm dating right now is bisexual,
Okay.
but I haven't thought of having anything, like I haven't thought of bringing it up. I haven't. I don't know. I don't need to have more threesomes. You know, to be crude. I fuck it. Like I rather meet someone cool. If it ever comes up, then fine. You know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Cool, perfect, Lou, bro. It's it's amazing having you here. I would love to
I
talk
appreciate
more,
it.
but yeah, it's been already like an hour and a half. Like I usually do
Okay.
30-minute podcast, but yeah, but
Nice.
yeah, but thank you so much. Like I couldn't thank
Oh,
you
my pleasure,
enough.
brother. I
And,
appreciate it.
yeah, and I hope I hope we'll catch up when I come back in Montreal, hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. We will.
Yeah,
We will.
and bro, take care of yourself. Keep doing what you're doing. It's amazing. Keep helping those guys.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank
taking care of yourself, of your family, your health,
you.
and
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it, brother. So I'm
For
gonna
sure,
wrap.
man. You too.
Yeah, thanks. And
All right.
if you come in Paris, let me know. You know,
Sure, I will.
welcome. And
Okay.